Hey everybody, welcome to Bag Talk episode 8. Today we have a very interesting conversation with our friend Rachel where we talk about preservation, Hermes, and all sorts of other bag related stuff.
Like the best way to store your Hermes, just like the archivists, the grails and goblins of bags, and what's happening in boutiques these days. So buckle up because this is a packed pod.
Yeah, this is our friend Rachel. She is a longtime friend of James's and mine. A longtime, uh, expert in the bags field in many ways and in different ways than us. So we thought it'd be fun to have you on the pod to talk about your unique vision of the handbag market.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that's such a lovely introduction. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. um, we were just discussing Teddy Kellys and how now that the mini Teddy Kellys are out, the big Teddy Kellys are going to tank in value. Well, tank. I expect they'll drop by about 25% in value.
Okay.
If they're currently going for like 55,000, in 2 years they'll be going for 35,000.
So the mini ones have just been released.
Yeah, and those are going for like 80 to 95,000.
Wow, that's kind of crazy. I don't know. They strike me as very Y2K. So I guess that's why they're,
Oh yeah, that's hot now. I think that their market will really mirror the mini Picnic Kellys.
You think it's going to go that high?
Well, yeah, I mean, those average now, like, I don't know. Off the top of my head, I bet it's like 60, 65, and sometimes they go for like 100,000.
Wow, I personally see if I had a choice between a mini Kelly and a Picnic Kelly, it's no choice. I would take the Picnic Kelly any day.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, why is that?
Just personal preference. I don't know. I know this
isn't what it is, Rachel, is it's instinct. You have great bag instincts.
I just have I know I'm supposed to back this up with like market research, but
girl, only Max can do that here.
I was gonna say,
you just have to back it up with your experience and your feelings.
It's all vibes. It's all vibes to me.
Exactly. Vibes to the max, for sure.
Vibes.
Well, if you want some data, the mini Picnic Kelly actually takes 2 craftspeople to make. A wicker weaver and a leather person.
Oh.
And I bet it wears better than the shearling Teddy, like over time.
Oh.
The wicker is delicate, but I think that it could handle a little bit more wear.
I worry about that wicker, all that, it can break so easily. That's sort of what I worry about the Picnic Kelly. I always was afraid of its fragility.
Yeah, I get that, but I've never seen a damaged one.
Yeah, people take good care of them, but also the wicker, like the problem with wicker is over time, as it like chips away, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker.
Yeah,
so eventually it starts to break more. So let's wait for 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And then you'll start seeing some beat mini wickers.
Picnic Kellys. I also wonder if because they're so precious, they actually, they get taken out less often.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, there's exceptions. I, met this one woman who literally carried her snow Faubourg Birkin every day.
Wow, what a bad bitch.
Yeah, all her.
Seriously.
But to the point of like delicate wicker, I know this antique dealer in Paris, and one thing that she specializes in is Victorian wicker furniture, which holds up quite well. So I don't think wicker's like feathers, for example, where it's really just not going to last.
No, it's not feathers, but as soon as it's damaged, how easy is it to repair? Does Hermes even repair wicker? I don't think so.
I was going to say,
I don't know.
You'd have to bring it to the spa and see what they would say.
And they might be like, sorry.
Which would be so cruel.
It would be.
Yeah, I bet they could remove the broken pieces and reweave expertly. But we'd have to experiment with this. Yeah. We'd have to break a wicker bag and take it in.
Oh, dear Lord.
Let's do it. The ultimate experience. We could take after, what was that guy's name? HSIXX, and just make an entire account based on damaging bags and seeing if Hermes will fix them.
Oh my God. That account gave me an ulcer. Made me sick.
Seriously, so many ulcers.
He was iconic. He's gone now.
I know. Tragique.
He's no longer with us?
Who's no longer on Instagram.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was gone, but maybe he's not.
Ooh.
Sorry.
I don't think I heard of him dying.
Okay.
No.
Maybe I'm confusing him with Nas, but
Pray not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pray not.
Sad. R.I.P.
A true hero.
But to the point of, things that get damaged and preserving stuff, Rachel, we hear that you are something of an expert in preservation.
Well, I do have a master's degree in museum and fashion studies. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
where I learned a lot about all of the different, ways to preserve and conserve textiles and related items. So, Français.
Très Français. How do you use this expertise in the preservation and storage of bags? What are some of your tips for our wonderful Bag World listeners?
Tips and tricks. Well, this might sound a little bit nerdy, but I store all of my handbags in archival grade, museum grade, acid-free materials. So I actually, I buy those through library science catalogs. Yeah.
Wow.
Does everyone hear that, listeners? Take note. That is expert level taking care of your bags.
Expert level. I'm a big customer of Gaylord Archival Supplies.
Shout out.
Company.
Shout out.
Well, sorry, I was just taking a sip of my espresso-tini.
Oh my gosh, I'm drinking the same thing.
Oh my gosh, you guys are matchy.
Cheers. Kind of brings you up and brings you down at the same time.
Exactly. I heard it was invented by a model in a London bar who asked the bartender if he could make her something that would wake her up and fuck her.
I love that. That's the energy right there.
That is really amazing.
Yeah.
Well, back to conservation and preservation.
Yes.
The leather itself, I think we know that Hermes bags are made to last. These are not disintegrating before our eyes, fast fashion or something is. So in terms of the actual leather bags, if we're not talking about picnic Kellys or, bags that have multiple materials mixed with leather on them, they really should need minimal intervention in terms of as long as you're handling and caring for them properly.
Now, does that mean for leather bags regularly using leather lotion on them?
No.
To condition
so
them?
I should come out and say that leather lotion is essentially the devil.
What? Really?
Dish. Okay.
Yeah. So across the board, museum conservators that deal with leather, a lot of this actually comes from the bookbinding community because rare and antique books were made with leather. So a lot of this conservation philosophy comes from those people. But they essentially say not to condition your bags at all. And that actually that can cause a lot of problems. For instance, it damages the finish. It can change the color of the bag. In general, it sort of causes more deterioration and causes more problems than it solves.
That's so
this would be, of course, if you don't want any.
If you don't want a patina, and even in that case, I would still.
I talked to a client who was saying that when her essay at Hermes told her that a certain bag was likely to patina, and then she learned what that meant, that she was like, okay, now I know that that's the word I 100% want to avoid. That's what I don't want for my bags. I thought that was fascinating because some people love a good patina. Some people
love a good patina, and we know that certain leathers patina better than others.
Right. Box, for example, I'm curious because over time box can sort of dry and crack, and if you're not going to condition it, how do you?
Well, so first what I would advise is storing your handbags correctly in the first place so you don't get the situation where your bags are drying out. But I understand that if you have a vintage bag, I first of all I would advise against doing any conditioning on your own. I think there are some very rare cases where if you send your bag back to the Hermes spa, or if you send your bag to a very reputable service artisan. Like, for instance, I just had a bag repaired by Leather Surgeons, a 28 centimeter box Kelly. Looks
Love them.
freaking fabulous. They did an amazing job. I am so happy. But I would just, what's that? There were some scratches, and so they like buffed them out, and they're almost like imperceptible now.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, and it's got such a beautiful shine now that it never even had before. So it looks better than when I bought it.
Excellent. That's what you can see. That's why I love Box. Has a special place in my heart for that reason alone. Is it doesn't really ever get sad or bad looking. Like, you can always buff it, and it looks better than brand new. It's like a resurrection.
It's literally amazing. I mean, it truly is like a resurrection. I mean, this bag is from, I think, the 80s. But an absolute resurrection.
Yeah. So Box will always hold a special place in my heart for that reason alone. It's such a good material. And it's the oldest leather that they used. Yeah.
It's the OG leather.
Handbags. Yeah. 1890s or something. Crazy.
Joseph Box. Shout out.
Oh, really?
Shout out.
Wait, I don't know this story. Is there...
Well, that's the shoemaker, the British shoemaker to the stars, who the leather is named after.
I learned something new today.
So that's why you can get Box with other designers too. Like Celine has Box leather as well.
Okay.
And I think a couple others that I can't think of right now.
That finish.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't think that Celine's Box leather is as good as Hermes's.
No, it's not finished the same, and it's not done to the same. Like, the bag isn't made the same way. It's more to it than just the leather. It's like how the bag's constructed, and Celine's not Hermes.
And it's also like the source of the skins themselves, like right. I think that Hermes's suppliers are probably like, I mean, I know that they're the highest quality out there.
And they're reserving the best skins for Hermes.
Hermes definitely gets dibs. But I'm curious because I don't know where they source their Box. I'm wondering if it's French, because Celine's is Italian Box. So I wonder if there's also country differences between qualities of Box leather. Nobody cares about this except us three, but
I care.
Yeah, and Peter Nitz.
True,
and,
Peter Nitz. Yes. There are people who care.
There are some people who care.
Yes. But I have a question. So you store your bags in archival boxes. What's the sort of timeline where you might see a difference between storing it in an archival box versus the regular Hermes box?
I feel like this is a really good question because we don't actually know. I would love to go sort of like explore the collections of people who have had, their bags stored in like Hermes boxes for over 30 years, because we don't really also know how long these Hermes box, like what's the oldest actual Hermes box that you guys have seen?
Oh, yeah, really old.
I wonder what materials they're making them out of, because now, it's cardboard. It's a very high quality cardboard, but it's still cardboard.
Yeah. Well, back then they transitioned to using the cardboard. I think that, older boxes were done in vellum, which is where that sort of texture is derived from. But during the war, they switched to paper, and that's also when they switched to orange, which was a really cheap color dye and plentiful during the war.
This is such great information.
Yeah, there's a lot of history around the boxes.
Well, the problem with...
So how do you preserve your boxes when you keep your bags separate?
I don't really worry so much about the bags as much as I worry about preserving the boxes, because we know that cardboard itself is a very acidic material, and so it's disintegrating. It's not really designed to last, so it's degrading at a much quicker rate. The bags are very much made to last, but in an ideal universe, you would also store your boxes in like acid-free buffered tissue paper, and then put those inside of archival boxes. And that would sort of like negate the acidic environment that the box itself is creating. That's like what a paper conservator might do. But that being said, like, who has space for that?
I know.
That's next level. That's like if you were in a museum situation and you had like your collection in like an offsite like art storage facility that was like temperature controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
Totally.
most of us unfortunately don't have that. There are services that provide, you know, you could provide that for your handbags, but you know, I'm not there yet.
Yeah. I think
Like-
based on what you just said, Rachel, I think we should petition Hermes to move away from planned obsolescence. They need to create boxes that stand the test of time like their bags do.
Exactly.
We need to petition them now.
We should petition for vellum again because
yes.
Yeah.
I will sign up to that. What is that? Kickstarter, whatever.
Yeah.
The donation thing is.
Bring back vellum.
Yes.
Vellum.
They should use that for like the diamond Hemas, the limited edition
they
boxes.
Really should, you know.
Well, they used to do those really.
Do you put desiccants in your bags to keep them dry?
I don't. That's a really good question and something I haven't really explored. I haven't seen desiccants that are like archival grade. I'm not.
And museums don't use those. They just control the whole environment.
So museums don't use them. What they do is they want to control the relative humidity, like through their HVAC systems, for instance. And they're like keeping their collections away from like water sources and, you know, preventing any type of, you know, relative humidity imbalances right from the get-go. They're controlling, you know, the environment. So they wouldn't really need desiccants. But, you know, maybe in a home situation, that might be a good idea. But yeah, I would definitely advise against like storing your bag somewhere where it's high humidity. That's not ideal.
Totally. I would see this all the time with bags coming from Hawaii.
Such a problem.
Humidity issues under the plastic
Just
with
coming
the
off,
hardware, sweaty ostrich.
What a nightmare.
All sorts of things.
That in southern Florida.
Yeah.
If they're not careful. Most of the homes in southern Florida, though, are really temperature controlled because nobody likes how humid it is there.
It is, yeah.
But there's still, you know, you take your bag outside, it's eating up that humidity.
Mm-hmm.
Or Houston, Texas.
Wow. I mean,
our Texas friends, salute.
Yeah, yeah. But Texas is kind of dry, right? Or I'm not sure.
Parts of it, but Houston, closer to the coast, it's like, it's swampy. Like Dallas is, I think, a swamp. Actually, a swamp. So it depends on where you are.
You know, you don't want it to be bone dry, but you also don't want it to be super humid. So you want it somewhere in between, probably around like 55 or 60% relative humidity in that general range. But you don't want the temperature to fluctuate too much. That causes a lot of issues where like you go from like, you know, a freezing temperature to an ultra humid one. It kind of, the expansion and the contraction of
That's
exactly. Yeah, it kind of shocks the leather.
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you're like on a trip from like Palm Beach to Aspen.
Right.
Yeah. Watch the humidity.
Watch the humidity levels.
Yeah. Now, like when you use your bags, because I've met like sneakerhead guys who, whenever they wear their sneakers, and as soon as they get home, they'll take them off and clean the soles, like with a little toothbrush and
that's so extra. Water. So, I mean,
how do you use your bags carefully and like thoughtfully and preservationally minded?
So usually when I'm like carrying my bags, I'm coming home really late from like dinner or something, and maybe not in 100%. You know, I've had a few drinks or whatever, but you know, the next day, I think the best thing to do would be to sort of wipe down your bag with like a microfiber cloth. I would advise don't put water on your bags. Maybe that works on shoes, but I would absolutely not put water on bags, on Hermes handbags. So what I do is I make sure that I don't overstuff my bags, but I like to sort of give them a little bit of support with, I'm such a nerd. I actually have made like little cushions out of muslin and batting that I put in my bags. You know, each bag has its own like specific cushion that is supposed to that contours to its size and shape. So I'll put the cushion back in. I always, you know, will like fasten the bag. I don't like things kind of like hanging out. If I'm really feeling up for it, I'll put like the little tiny little dust bag on like the clochette and stuff. But like I don't put the felt, you know, on certain bags that are really special to me, like I'll put the felt back on. But like, you know,
sure.
I'm speaking ideally, like I could be a lot better personally at these practices.
Girl, you're light years ahead of everyone else, so I wouldn't feel
No,
too bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many collections of bags that are just like jammed
Oh
together.
yeah,
and,
have you
like,
seen like
smushed in the
Kiara?
closet.
I actually don't know how to.
Yes,
Oh my
that's exactly what
God.
I was thinking of. Chiara Ferragni's.
It's
Oh my
crazy.
gosh,
I
triggering.
mean, I didn't see that many Hermes bags laying around, but I did see the Chanel bag.
No, but just cramming all those Chanel bags in there with the chains
up,
all
it looked like a
tangled up. Oh my
mess.
goodness.
But I would absolutely make sure that your bags are stored out of sunlight or direct light of any kind, artificial light, sunlight. Make sure they're in a dust bag. The light over time can really compound and affect the, you know, the vibrancy of the colors on your bag.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you want to keep your bags on display, though. You want to see them. Is there like a type of light that's okay?
I
Like
think
a
about
special
this because,
bulb?
you know, I see a lot of collections that are displayed and I get it. They're beautiful objects. They're objects of art. You want to see them. But, you know, it might be good to sort of like rotate out the bags that are on display so that the same ones aren't getting all of that light at once. But you can definitely get filters that you can put on your lights that are going to like it's going to filter out the really damaging UV rays. Or they're not UV, it's not UV from the sun, but you know, if you look at a light spectrum, there are you know, there are like specific
frequencies.
What it's called, frequencies that are more damaging, and so you can get filters from, like, for instance, these like Gaylord, this website that will, you know, filter those out. You know, if you really wanted to, you could get like custom displays made with like museum glass, which is also going to filter out those lights, you know, that frequency of light.
Oh yeah, you got to put in the extra
you know,
effort
if you're like a real nerd, it might be worth it.
Plus, you also get to change out what you see every day, so you're not looking at the same bag. It's kind of a plus, you know. It's not even a downside to have to switch out your bags.
Yeah.
I love finding something in my closet and being like, oh, I forgot.
It's a good way to
let me put this on display.
Yeah, I do that too. Yeah. But I know I see it's tough because you don't want to hide your bags away, but they also need to take little rests every once in a while.
They're tired.
Hermes says that in their little care booklet. They're like, let your bag rest every once in a while.
They need, you know, I think about when I'm putting my bags like back in their boxes and putting the cushions back in, I think like, it's time for your nap. It's time for bed.
I don't know if you would remember this, Rachel, but we used to have a client back in the day that would put their bags back in their box to go to sleep when they were like taking them out of the room after we were done looking at them. Max, do you remember this? No. Fine. My memory and my memory only.
So many eccentrics.
It was so cute, though. I was like, this is next level, but I'm about it.
So cute.
Yeah. I mean, the Hermes market like attracts such interesting people, I think. Rachel, what do you think is attractive about Hermes bags?
In general or to me?
Both. Like, what do you think attracts people in general to them, and how do you view them in your, you know, personal experience in life?
Well, I would say what attracts me to Hermes bags is Grace Kelly's spirit.
Bless up.
Good answer. And Jane Birkin's spirit.
Jane Birkin's too.
Two good spirits.
Two great spirits. Yeah. I'm just trying to channel
sister
spirits. Every time I carry my bags, I'm trying to channel them.
Conduit.
No, but you know, yeah, it's a conduit. No, but like in all seriousness, I'm going to talk first about my experience. Like, I'm a real Kelly girl. And I just think that the design is like one of the most incredible designs like I have ever seen. I know this sounds like a little nerdy, but it's just like the shape of the bag, the shape of the handle, like relative to the proportionately to the corners of the bag is just like so perfect. Like I can't imagine a better design of it, you know? And then on top of that, you know, I'm going to say something. I think it's really cliche, but it's like the craftsmanship, you know, it's just like you can't get past that sometimes, even though I know
And you
that's
can really feel
like
it.
what every single person says, but it's just like the hand feel of the bag is really incredible. You know, it's really inimitable in my opinion.
I almost feel like you can feel the history. I feel like there's a mystery and a lore that's underneath that feeling of craftsmanship.
There's something mystical. Yeah, there's something mystical about it. You know, you feel like this is so cheesy, but like you're holding like a historical object or something. It feels really special. Yeah.
And that Kelly handle itself is just like such a masterpiece of leather craftsmanship. It takes hours and hours, and like you can feel it.
You can feel it.
It feels so wrought and handmade.
It's like it's like this perfect combination of like, it's like hefty, but it's also very, I don't want to say delicate because it's not delicate. The design itself looks, you know, kind of dainty and feminine, but like the handle has a real, you know, heft to it. That just impresses me.
It's like those the aerialists, you know, like it's bearing so much weight, but it looks so effortless. It's like that. Yeah, I totally relate to that point.
Beautiful.
So this is so poetic.
I speak in poetry, Rachel.
That's so funny. One of my favorite things to do I've discovered recently is feeding an article into ChatGPT and asking it to distill it into a haiku.
I love that.
And how are the results?
Well, the results are just wonderful. I mean, you could feed it like a whole article about anything off the New York Times and it'll reduce it to 3 lines.
Oh my gosh, that's what you do all day, Max. Now I know what you spend your time with. LOLing at haikus from the New York Times.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I had some vibey questions for you, Rachel, actually.
Oh, good.
Tell us a story of the one that got away. It's open-ended, and it could be any bag.
Open-ended.
The one that got away. Tell us about her. Him or her.
Well, I get them all.
Good answer.
Yes. No regrets.
No regrets.
They don't get away from me. I hunt them down.
Yes. A real lioness.
Love that.
Yeah, but I was thinking about this question and I was like, I don't know, you know, because, you know, I don't spend time like combing too much. Like I get one bag a year, right? So I try not to spend too much time combing when I know that it's like not time to, you know, to like double down and get the bag, because I just get so emotional about it. I'll feel really bad about what I lost and I could have had this and oh my God, the price of this was so good. And so, you know, I try to turn it off when it's time to turn it off, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, been there.
I get that. Mm-hmm. And then when it's time to turn it on, you hone right in and you
I get everyone's opinion. You two are my best consigliere.
We both did the same thing. Ew.
And I just hone right in.
James, what's the one that got away for you?
Yeah, tell us about that, James.
Oh my gosh, I would have the same answer. There's so many. I feel like it's not the one that gets away from me. It's the one that screws
like
me
the last
over.
One that got away.
The one that screws you over.
Okay, so I've had many encounters with handbags that have screwed me over. There was a Picotin.
A Picotin.
Everybody here knows this Picotin. I paid nearly $6,000 for at auction.
God. Wait, what color was it again?
It was blue Aztec, which is a great color, but still not worth $6,000 for this Picotin. I think it was it was either 2010 or 2014, and I can't remember. I don't think 2014 because turquoise was coming out then. So I don't think they would have been doing Aztec.
Wrong.
What is it?
Turquoise was discontinued by 2014. Anyways, continue.
Oh, maybe that's what I got it swapped. Discontinued in 2014 and not coming out in 2014.
At least by 2014. I feel like turquoise was discontinued in like 2010, maybe 28.
No,
you know, turquoise is like a pre-2010s color.
No, because turquoise came out with the weed smelling bags.
No.
Or it didn't come out, but it was out. It was out.
Turquoise came out with like fuchsia.
No, not
and verdani.
Not introduced
back in the day.
It was existing.
Not introduced.
It was existing in 2014.
Yeah, they produced it for a while. Yeah,
because I just know.
But it really wasn't like a 2014 color. No. I think it was blue Aztec. Wasn't it blue Aztec?
Yeah, the Picotin was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it was blue
what
Aztec.
Were we saying? Sorry,
anyway,
continue.
I don't know how we just had a heated argument about turquoise.
Yeah. How did this happen? How did you get $6,000 for a Picotin?
The demon took over. I don't know. I think it's the magpie brain thing. Magpie brain. That's a less dramatic way of putting it. But I just had to have it. And here was the other problem that screwed me up in that it was me, but it was also not me. So the place where I bought the Picotin has this program where you can like put max bids in. And unfortunately, instead of putting the max bid per item, I put the max bid for the whole thing. Wow. So I ended up spending way more on this one bag, getting nothing else because I had already spent my budget. So that was my bad. And then the other one was a Rouge Ash. I think it was a 31 Hermes zip. It could have been a bigger one, but I think it was 31.
Love
and I came this close to paying $5,500 for it.
No. Because you wanted it that bad.
Because of the same misunderstanding with the mistake with the bidding limits?
No, this time it was all my fault.
That's what I said about turning it off when you got to turn it off.
So I had to learn that the hard way. But thank God I was the underbidder. There was somebody else who came in. I think it was some Middle Eastern person, but they came in and bid one more than me, and I was able to step back and be like, this is crazy. Let's stop.
God.
Also, let's take a moment to appreciate whoever bought that bag for like $5,500.
Exactly. Yeah, I think my last bid was a cut bid at $5,250 or something, and then they went the next increment, and I was like, oh, saved.
Wow.
What sale was it?
I don't remember which one, actually. It must have been a spring auction, to the best of my recollection, because the Picotin was definitely holiday.
I guess the heart wants what it wants.
Mm-hmm. And the heart just does not listen to the brain. You know what I'm saying? You got to turn it off, like you were saying.
Yeah. What about you, Max? Do you have one that got away?
The one that comes to mind that got away was a Berenia Birkin 40 on the Real for $3,500.
No.
Yeah. No. I swear.
No.
And I was just like, I didn't really have $3,500 to spend on a bag at the time, but I was like, I put it in my cart and I just couldn't justify it that moment.
Wow.
And it was gone.
Do you think it was a mistake? Do you think it was a pricing error?
Yeah, I mean, whoever priced it clearly did not understand.
Yeah.
What was the condition? Was it?
Who cares? It's Berenia.
I know we don't care, but the real cares.
That was the condition.
Right. Yeah, so that's probably why. That's probably why.
Mm-hmm. But still, who cares? It's Berenia.
It's Berenia.
Right.
You got to send me these listings when you see them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was years ago.
Yeah, of course.
There's always listings, though. You just need to know where to find them and be constantly monitoring it like Max does.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just always looking. It's true.
Always shopping.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rachel,
Yeah.
my next vibey question is, what is your grail bag and what is your goblin bag? So, what do I mean by that? Your grail bag is like, this is the bag. If you could have it, you just die. You would be die happy.
Oh, you would just
And your goblin bag is, get this away from me. I never want to see it ever again. Fresias, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God. This is a really good question. So let me start. Should I start with my grail bag or my goblin bag?
Whichever one came to
Up to you,
mind
girl.
first.
I think that my grail bag. Let me think about this. Would be. Wait, they don't make exotic cellier mousse, do they?
They
They do.
They're rare. They're rare AF. There's one coming up in the Christie's Hong Kong auction. Matte vanilla alligator with a butler leather handle.
I have to see it.
I'll send you the link.
That's one of my favorite.
So
I can put it in the chat. Oh, I know how to do this now. I'll put it in the chat.
Drop it in the chat. No, but I'm really fond of alligator.
Matte alligator.
Matte. Well, you know what? I'm a vintage girly. I like that sort of shiny finish. You know, it really harkens back to the ye old days.
Yeah, there's something very contemporary and
almost punk. It's very edgy. You know, like a matte exotic.
Yeah. Because also with the mattes, the colors are so much less jewel tone and more poppy. You know, like I feel like that makes them more contemporary and less cool vintage. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is beautiful.
Isn't that cool?
It's
they say it's cool. Barenia trim, but I don't think that's correct. I think it's either hunter or butler leather. Yeah, and look at the second picture. It comes with a second strap.
Oh, it does it?
Yeah.
Wait.
With the yellow and black stripes.
Could you imagine if they used Barenia on this handle? That would be the stupidest thing they've ever done.
Oh my God, it would get so dark.
It would be disgusting and rubbery.
Yeah, that's another thing I have to say about, preserving your bags. Do not put hand lotion on yourself and then hold your handles.
No.
Like, do not do that.
No.
To your bags. It is the worst.
And like, I would handle bags a lot, professionally, and I don't like to wear gloves. I think that it, you can't feel the bag. So if you're like authenticating it, you're not going to get a good feel for it.
Right.
And if you're dealing with something that's got like loose plastic on the hardware, that's a really quick way to take it off if you have gloves on.
It really, you're much more...
Or to get fibers under there.
Yeah.
And so people would always ask if I would post like a video of me handling a bag. I'd be like, if you could have seen the dish soap that I had used to clean my hands right before I grabbed this thing.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You got to get nitrile gloves. You don't want to use those cotton ones.
I learned that recently, actually, Rachel. The nitrile.
Yeah. Nitrile gloves are it. But you know what's crazy? This question. So it would be, I don't know if it would be alligator. I feel like I should have had the answer to this question.
It's a very deep question. It sounds really like surface level, but it's actually not, because we all have had so many bags and seen so many bags.
Yeah. Did
I stump you?
Well, I mean, it would certainly be an exotic cellier mou.
Excellent.
In 28 centimeters, that's for sure.
Naturally.
Because do they come in 25?
I haven't seen it. I've seen Matte Cellier 25 Birkins.
Okay. No, but I'm really a Kelly girl. So,
But when you say mou, typically mou is a term reserved for materials that would only be used in retourné construction that are being used in cellier, like Togo, debatably Chev, Fjord.
Well, Max,
I've never seen
Chev
Swift.
Supla is the mou. So if you get Chev Supla or Souple, I'm not good at French, that would be considered mou. But if you get the like traditional Chevs that are harder and more shine, that would not be. That would be cellier. This is what I was told by an insider.
So the shiny...
In my mind, a Cellier Chev 25 Kelly is not mou, but anything bigger than 25 is, in my mind.
Max makes his own rules.
I do.
25 Chev Kellys are not moo.
Yeah, they're too stiff.
Right. 28, debatable. 32, definitely.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Have you felt the
But 20
really stiff Chev 35s though? They're not moo. Like I would not consider them.
But Fjord is stiff, and a Fjord Cellier is 100% moo.
Fjord is stiff-ish, but it's stiff like buffalo, where it still softens. I'm gonna fight you on
over
this
time.
point.
Have you ever seen a buffalo Cellier? I've seen one Dalmatian
Just
Cellier, Kelly.
Dalmatian, but
Oh,
that's it.
really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wait, what size was that?
32.
Yeah.
Dalmatian is Cellier?
Dalmatian
That's
Cellier.
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do love Dalmatian, I have to say.
Definitely.
It's just-
Orange or black.
What's your favorite Dalmatian colorway? Is it the white on black, the black on white? They do red, they do orange, they do green.
No, it's the black on white.
Classic.
Black on white.
Yeah. Classic.
Like Cruella de Vil.
I think I prefer the white on black.
Very Cruella de Vil, absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be great for her costume. If you had like a Halloween costume, Cruella de Vil, that's the perfect bag to pair. Yeah.
Dalmatian Kelly.
Oh my gosh.
Pretty sure I did that a few years ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember. I painted a portrait of you.
Wait, that was at my Halloween party. I remember this because you had my Lieber, my little broken Judith Lieber grapes, and we were like modeling it in my living room.
I was modeling it in your living room with my little, crazy wig that I was wearing.
Yes. I still have those pictures, so we'll have to show a visual for the listeners.
Yeah, I know that Dalmatian Kelly would have gone perfectly with it.
So true.
Yeah. And I was Bob Ross, so it makes sense that I then painted a portrait of you in that costume.
I love that portrait. Every person who sees that
thank you.
says it looks so much like you. It really captures you.
Remember when we both...
Thank you.
Remember that same party we both showed up as Bob Ross and we had not planned it at all?
Yes.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was a year of a lot of Bob Rosses, I think.
Yeah, because he had just passed away or something happened with his estate or something. It was in the news.
I think it was on Netflix. It came on Netflix and became big.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It became casual watching for a whole new generation.
Like the Kate Bush of painting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What's your goblin bag? We got to hear
about
what
the
you
goblin.
hate. What are you over?
Okay, the goblin. Wait, well, we didn't get to the what was goblin.
I thought your grail was a Matt Cellier 28 Kelly.
Wait, 28? No. Matt? No. Yeah, no. 25.
25.
25.
Yeah, 25.
Okay.
25.
Wow, I don't even know if that exists.
No. It doesn't have to be Cellier Moo. I've taken that all
but
back.
It's also...
Oh, just a Matt.
It's also Grail Max. Like we're not thinking reality here.
Grail.
No. We can. Yeah, this is just like hypothetical.
Keep your head in the clouds, Max. Come on.
Yeah.
Got it. I've seen Matt Himalaya Cellier Kelly 25.
They're beautiful.
I've seen two of them.
I love that even the mini Kelly Himalaya.
Yeah. Did you see that this week?
Oh, where?
Rachel, you'll die.
A diamond Himalaya mini Kelly 20. Diamond.
Wow. What's
Himalaya mini Kelly
wild.
20. Yeah.
Wow.
An amazing selection of words to put together.
I mean, that's like the best sentence I've ever heard uttered.
That's going to be the best search engine optimization title for cataloging.
Yeah.
Because it's got all the buzzwords, all the top buzzwords.
I saw a dealer post it and I messaged them maybe like mere minutes after they posted it. Price, please.
Yeah.
And they were like, sorry, sold honey. It sold fast. It found a buyer fast.
Sold honey.
Yeah.
You were really that bitch, weren't you, Max? Price, please. Oh my
I'll
God.
ask.
Did you
I'll
say
always
PLZ?
Ask. Yeah.
Please tell me you said
PRC,
Did you say PLZ
PLZ
for please? Oh, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all in.
I always put like an emoji and I'm like, amazing, must ask the price, please. I'm very sweet about it.
I can't believe you're a price
people like me.
Mm-mm.
I'll ask.
Ain't got no shame. Goblin.
But my goblin bag.
I keep forgetting what we're talking about.
Yeah, what do you never want to see
my
again?
least favorite colors right now.
Yeah.
What triggers
like
you?
lime, like the color. Like I just feel very triggered by like neon.
Hot take.
I don't know.
By what?
By like the color like lime or like
Kiwi.
right? Kiwi is very triggering
Interesting.
to me. It's just
Limoncello.
not my thing. I don't know what it
Or
is.
what about?
Those
Sorry. What do you? How do you feel about rose Tyrian? Kind of like those candy colors, because you said lime and
oh, like
Souffle.
let me think.
souffle. Yeah.
Oh, no, rose Tyrian, like hold on. Let me just look it up real quick.
It's got the white stitching, and it's
Oh,
Super bright
it's
pink,
kind of
fluoresces
Barbie.
under black light.
no.
Very
That doesn't
Barbie.
bother me in the
Okay.
same way that the yellows and the greens do.
Gotcha.
The yellows and the greens
Interesting.
really, it's something about the reaction that I have. It's like it just disturbs me. I don't know. It makes my brain vibrate or something.
What was that?
But how do you feel about Vert Croquet
I love Vert Croquet.
and Vert Fizz?
Oh, I think those are both beautiful colors.
So not to trigger you, Rachel, but
Interesting.
how do you feel about Jaune Bourgeon? Because that's kind of in that yellow-green world, slightly bright but less bright.
Sorry, give me one.
Or Vert
There's so
Absent.
many.
There's so many greens and yellows. No, it's just
Or Jaune
Oh, that's cute
Poussin.
though. Ducky yellow.
I love
Ducky,
Jaune
ducky.
Poussin. Yeah, I hated it when it came out. It came out at the same time as Glycine, and I was mad about it. But now I love Jaune Poussin and Glycine.
I always liked both of those colors. So glad you came on board.
Yeah. And Blue Zephyr.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was like the pre-pastel era. Mm-hmm. Blue Zephyr was Blue Broom before Blue Broom.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just cannot tolerate those those green and yellow neons. Those are my goblins.
You know, this reminds me of what was that? I think it was a book, The Yellow Wallpaper, where she gets driven mad because of the yellow wallpaper in her room. Does anybody remember this book?
Yeah.
It's like a classic.
Oh yeah. Well, there was, I don't know about the book, but there was like a type of wallpaper back in the Victorian times that was a color called Paris green, and it was colored with arsenic.
Yes.
And it actually drove people mad. Like if they had a humid home, it would actually make you go crazy.
Wild.
Paris
well,
green.
that's how I feel about like
when you see a bag, you start actually going crazy. Yeah.
Start going mad.
So yeah, we'll stay away from those goblin bags.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
Definitely.
And I'm sure you've covered this on your pod before, but like, what are your guys' goblin bags?
Ooh, so many. I feel like I have a goblin bag of the moment, and it changes.
Okay, so what is it today?
Midas Kelly's.
Midas Kelly.
You're over it? You hate them?
I do. And I know.
I can hear you typing.
No, I'm just like, wait, what? Midas Kelly?
Yeah, like half the handle is a solid chunk of 18 karat gold, and they retail for
so let me explain,
over $100,000.
dear listener, because listen, let me explain.
I'm stunned.
Let me explain, because listeners will also be confused, because on the last episode, I was gushing over the Midas bag because of, I feel like it was really trying to invoke and glom onto Schiaparelli's like prominence these days with Daniel Barry, you know, heading that up. So I can see a thread there, an aesthetic thread. And I love that. But I also feel like if I love something for too long, I begin to hate it. And I think I've reached that point in the week between last week and this week. So I think it used to be kind of grail. I won't say grail, but kind of grail. And now I feel goblin about it. So that's what I mean about like my goblins and grails are always turning over.
I was going to say, like, one person's goblin is another person's grail.
And both of those people are me.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm loving
so deep. Yeah, totally deep. No, but Rachel, do you agree about the Schiaparelli thread? Because I really feel like there's something to that.
No, I absolutely see that when you mention that. But what I love about this handle is it feels like a piece of jewelry or something.
It's like a bracelet.
It feels like a bracelet, exactly.
That's the idea.
Yeah, it's really kind of blurs the line between like handbag and jewelry. I'm kind of loving it, to be honest.
True,
Ask your
yeah, reach
SA.
out.
She'll stop.
I'm sure they are having trouble selling these.
She would just like give me the stink eye if I asked.
You need a new SA if she's giving you stink eyes.
I know.
Yeah.
Not in my house, my Hermes house.
They definitely have trouble selling these, I guarantee you. At a retail price of $104,000.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to spend $104,000 right now, so
I bet they're going to be like diamond Birkins, where once they come onto the secondary market in like a public auction sense, it'll be way at less than
I really
retail.
wonder.
Yeah.
That they'll be going for like 45.
I really wonder
That's sad.
where the Midas Kellys are selling. I could totally see it in the UAE and Dubai selling really well, or maybe in Indonesia or somewhere in Southeast Asia selling really well. Yeah, Singapore
or something.
More so than New York or Europe. I mean, who knows? But
well, do you really think that New York is like a flashy bag city?
But it's low key. It's like it's similar to how the fashion weeks are different. Like New York is yes flashy, but it's in a different way. It's more street, more practical, more athletic. So I feel like the New York collectors and people who really like embody what it means to be a collector in New York, they're getting that good stuff, but it's almost like there's a practicality to how they go about it. I don't know. That's just my theory.
Yeah.
I can see that working because these are like box leather, and it's very New York leather.
You know what? I was just like singing the praises of box. I think that's why I love these Kellys so much. Is the combination of the box and the gold is really, you know, it's super contemporary, but it also has a like, I don't know, you know, it just has a vintage box. Always has a vintage feel to me.
Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Well, in a week I'll be loving it again, so we can gush about it next week on Pod 2.
I think my goblin bag, or my goblin color, really, that I never want to see again is rose Jaipur.
That's a hot take. Hold the presses.
What? It's such a bad. It's not a pink. It's not an orange. Maybe I've just seen way too much of it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Max. It's become too pedestrian in your mind.
Yes.
How dare you? Oh my gosh,
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it like I hate cardamom, and cardamom's a terrible color.
Okay.
No, see, like hate is a very strong word.
I've never seen a rose Jaipur bag I've liked. Period.
Where's my paper bag to breathe in? That is a hot take. Wow. I have to take us a couple seconds to absorb that.
Yeah.
What did Rose Jaipur ever do to you? I'm mad. I'm mad on behalf of Rose Jaipur.
It spent too much time in front of me. That's what it did.
But Max, it's tied to all of the India collections, that era of Hermes Voyage.
I love everything else about those India collections more than Rose Jaipur.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. But like regarding these Grail and Goblin bags, my question is, if you could only have one bag, what would it be?
So this is going to be the most boring answer ever, but it would be like okay, my 28 centimeter box Kelly, I have carried that bag to death. It is so useful. It is so functional. I can carry it during the day. I can carry it at night. Like, of all the bags in my collection, that is the one.
Isn't that crazy? That's your workhorse bag.
That's my baby. That's my workhorse bag. I mean, that's your my ride or die.
Yes.
That's my ride or die. Wait, what was the question? What bag in my collection?
Or if you could only have one bag, period, and you could have any bag, what would it be? Right?
Period. So, would it last forever?
Ideally, let's say ideally.
Yeah, you could then replace it with the same bag.
Yeah.
Right.
With the same
bag.
But
you can only have one bag for the rest of your life. It's a desert island situation.
You can only have one. Gosh. Okay, so it would definitely be a 28 centimeter Kelly. But if it, I could have one bag. I don't know. Maybe it would be Mad Alligator with palladium hardware.
Black.
Yeah.
Black
Duh,
bag.
Max.
Black. Duh, don't even ask me that. What color? Black.
Yeah, that's a good one, actually.
You know,
I could see that for you forever. Eternity bag.
I mean, it's for an eternity bag.
I was recently rewatching Schitt's Creek.
Me too, actually.
Yes.
Really? Yeah.
Well, there's this bit where the son runs off and the mom is like, what happened to my bag? I've got this bag, and like, you know, my son ran off with it. And if my son knows one thing, it's the street value of a handbag.
I remember that scene.
And she's like, my mother gave me that bag, and it's been passed down in my family as like a quick source of money if we ever needed to steal away in the night. We could grab this bag. And I thought that was a fascinating concept to use with Hermes bags.
Wow.
Like, what's the perfect bag that you could pass down to your daughter and granddaughter that would also be the ideal thing that at any point in time they could steal away with in the night and get good money for?
Max,
and I think it's a black crocodile Kelly. Or Birkin 25. And matte, because it's going to hold up well. Like, if you have to squash a bag into another bag quickly, if it's shiny crocodile, you'll ruin it. If it's matte crocodile, it'll survive.
That's a very good point.
Shiny croc is so high maintenance.
Yeah.
Max, I feel like your mom has said that about you in the past. If it's one thing my son knows, it's
the street value.
I feel like your mom has probably said that at some point in her life to someone.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I cut you off, Rachel. You were saying something.
No, but would you agree?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's extremely practical. I might go for 32, and personally, instead of matte black alligator, I would do Barenya alligator.
Barenya alligator,
not faux Barenya alligator, but like pure Barenya alligator with no foil on the brand stamp from 2015, the one year they did that.
Yeah.
I'll put a link in the chat. You can check it out. There's one coming up in a Christie's auction, which is actually my dream bag.
I think mine would probably just be a 35 Birkin Barenya Falborg. Because I like the green.
You like that better than regular Barenya?
Well, if I have to choose one for the rest of my life, I like the green of like a Togo and a Clemence. It's classic, it's leathery. But I also love Barenya as material. So it's kind of like marrying both worlds for the long term. Versus a Barenya bag, like, it would still give me the same satisfaction, but it's just like one step better, in my opinion.
And a 35.
35 Birkin. Psh, simple, basic.
Yeah, I mean, that's so useful.
You inspired me to go for the workhorse bag, Rachel.
I'm sorry. I'm just so boring. I wish that I could.
No, I like that. If it's only one, you know, it's got to work for you.
If it's only one, it has to work in every situation.
And that's a hard bag to find that would work in every situation,
That's hard.
But to Rachel's decision, I actually think even like a black 28, like you're saying, you could pull that off in an evening situation.
No, it is a good evening bag, for sure. Especially if, it goes with everything, and it's just like an extremely like elegant bag.
Yeah, and you'd go for palladium hardware. Do you wear white gold jewelry? Do you match your hardware to your jewelry? What do you think about that?
No, I don't. I'm a rebel.
You mix and match. Love that.
Yeah.
But I just think there's something very fun and kind of like edgy about palladium hardware.
Well, it was introduced in 1996. It's extremely contemporary.
Extremely
contemporary.
Yeah. For Birkins and Kellys. It was introduced in 96 for Birkins.
Yeah. Nearly as old as we are, but
as far as
so
I know.
Contemporary.
I just love the way that a Kelly like classes up an outfit.
Yeah.
So true. I think the Kelly's better at that than the Birkin for sure. Even though I'm a Birkin girl, the Kelly there's something. Like you were saying, Rachel, it's the shape and the lines and the silhouette, and also Grace Kelly's the bag is a conduit for her spirit. I love that. I'm gonna carry that into the future.
Yeah.
Post pod.
Please do. Please. I'm sorry, I feel embarrassed even asking this, but like, what do you guys think of like tall Kellys? Like, I love them.
I love them too. I love the casual practicality.
Well, practicality. Like I know you love to paint.
Oh, that's true. But you know, you
sure.
can also clean Twall if it gets dirty. You just use a Mr. Clean magic eraser.
I was gonna say, how do you care for
Mr.
Twall?
Clean magic eraser?
Hands down.
And it will just take off like
and
whatever.
it won't damage the color. Like it won't like
no, because it's just water on like a sponge with a certain texture. So there's no chemicals. You don't use soap. It just sort of lifts off the dirt nicely.
Yeah. I was always wondering if I'd have to bring it to like a dry cleaner, or not a dry cleaner, but you know, someone that specializes in like cleaning, you know. It's difficult because when it's like a mixture of leather and fabric,
you have to be careful with the dry cleaners, because I actually a long time ago, it's a bit foggy of a memory, but we sent out a Twall Kelly, and we sent it to a low grade repair place, and they did dry clean it, but because they dry cleaned it, the interior leather was really destroyed.
Oh, that's painful.
Use the Mr. Clean. Stay away from steam and water.
Just stay away. Steam and water. It's like the heat. I'm telling you, it's heat and water is the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Water's not so bad for the Twall.
No,
for the Twall, it's probably fine. But if it's backed with leather, that's an issue.
You just got to be, delicate.
And I don't know what it does to the interfacing. If it shrinks the interfacing, or
right. Do we know what the interfacing is?
I don't know. Have to open it up and see.
I learned it a long time ago, and I don't remember.
Not me.
Now.
You can.
Yeah. I want to say cotton or wool blend, something like that, but I can't remember. That's probably wrong, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah. But if anybody knows, it's you.
Or Peter Knits probably knows. These people who take apart bags for a living probably know more than me.
Yeah,
Tanner Leatherstein, love him.
He's so great. Although I will say his videos give me the same kind of agita as like whatever we were talking about earlier. I can't remember. Yes.
Bag.
There's just something about ripping apart a bag that I just can't get behind. I know it's educational and I want to finish the video, and I do finish the video, but I don't know. It's trauma. It does.
It just feels wrong.
It's fun trauma, though. It's like a gory horror movie.
That's how I should think about it. Yeah, you're so right. You're so right. Like watching Saw.
Yeah, it's like you show children scary movies so that they think life is less scary.
It's not how psychology
If you show bags being torn apart, you'll think wearing your bag is less scary.
It's a form of whatever it's called, desensitization.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's horrible, but also amazing.
So Rachel, what's the vibe like in Hermes stores these days? Because, it's changed, hasn't it?
Okay, so I can speak to the Madison Hermes store.
Which is one of the major stores.
Yeah, which you guys have obviously been to since its renovation.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, decor-wise, the vibe is like on point. I was there last week on the men's floor, and they like had rotated out all the rugs and decor for like the fall and winter season. Like they're really going for it in terms of like design.
I love the little bar too. You can go get a little cocktail, a little coffee.
Yep, little cocktail, little coffee, little. They serve.
It's brilliant for the husbands.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant to keep them busy.
That store also really needed a refurb, so I'm so glad it finally happened for them.
Yeah, definitely. But so I haven't not been a long time client of Hermes. I'm kind of like embarking on my journey, but from the sense that I get from it is that like among the essays, there's a lot of competition for bags, is what they're saying. Like, it's very competitive among them, and I think that's kind of like lowering the morale a little bit, really determining like what you can get.
I think there's like a lot of people coming into the retail market trying to get bags. There's a lot of newcomers.
Do I think there's a lot of newcomers? I'm not entirely sure.
Do you think it's more competition among like existing clients? Because does your Hermes journey stretch back to the previous Madison location?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I didn't start seriously until like maybe not even like a year ago. So I did not start seriously until then. I really should have gotten that before then, but
They're also restricting
um,
supply. That's the real kicker for the
yeah,
essays. Like, you just
yeah.
aren't able to get as many bags for your clients as you used to as a single essay.
Totally.
But it's like once they go into the back into that supply closet, like what they pull is what you get. They
Yes.
cannot go back there again. You get one shot, so you better be very specific and clear about what you want
Yeah.
because, um, you know, that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I've
That's what
heard
I've
this,
observed.
Rachel, but maybe you can confirm, like, you have to kind of buy whatever they give you or show you, kind of, because if you don't, they cut you off. Has that been your
Yeah,
experience?
I think that's kind of like the unspoken
Yeah.
rule
I don't know. I
is
mean, I
that if
read
they
a lot of stuff on Purse Forum and stuff. I think it depends on who you are and how long you've been
I know.
shopping.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And the day, because sometimes you just get really lucky and it's crazy. So,
No, sometimes you get really, really lucky. I mean, it just depends on the day. So I think as often as you can go in there without being too like needy and annoying is ideal. If you can just go in there and show your face.
yeah.
That's why like being a local, I think, is, has its benefits. Go in there, get this,
Yeah.
get
How
that.
often do you go in? Would you say like monthly, bi-monthly?
Once a month.
Once a month, yeah.
Once a month, yeah.
Do you
I think
do
that's
any
a great
pre-spend?
God,
pre-spend.
Yeah, like bait merchandise just to get access to
Oh,
a
you
bag, or
have. I
no?
you
mean,
can't just go in.
Well,
yeah. I mean,
obviously, but some people just don't mess with the bait stuff, and they're like, I don't even want to try that game,
Well, they're
and they still get
established.
bags.
they're
They're
what?
established.
Fair enough.
No, they're established. They've established themselves in some way already. You have to establish yourself, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, luckily, I really like Hermes product in general, and so I'm not like buying things that I'm not going to use or like toss away or something. So, but so no, so that's been my sort of like my observations from the retail experience at the moment.
What's your
I do tend
favorite
to
store in New York City? Well,
definitely Mac.
yeah, that
Madison.
was kind of
Yeah,
obvious,
I
duh.
mean, just the meatpacking store is like so
Yeah.
teeny tiny. There's
Yeah,
like
and the
nothing
Wall
there.
Street store is even smaller.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a Wall Street store.
The
I
Wall
didn't
Street
even
store
know.
is for men, let's be honest.
It's a men's store.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Now
it's
that,
just
I
sorry, go
actually
ahead.
know some clients who have had a lot of success getting bags at Wall Street because it's an underserved, it's like, people don't think about it.
interesting.
Yeah. Especially if you've got a husband that
Yeah.
likes plain white shirts and
Yeah.
ties.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whatever
For
happened to the
sure.
Williamsburg store? They
It's
were going to
coming.
do that, and then it's still coming?
I think it's
Oh,
Yeah.
coming, but I think for now it only does cosmetics and
yeah.
silk.
Well, didn't they put the Hermes gym there also?
Right, a little
Oh,
tempo,
Yeah.
popo.
Which I never went
oh.
to, but I was debating
I
whether.
couldn't get a res.
Yeah, same.
Oh.
uh,
Hermes and their events.
seriously.
There's something going on in Chicago right now, like the making of Hermes, where they have some craftspeople making
Mm-hmm.
stuff and showing things off. That's so cute.
Yeah.
It's
So cute.
coinciding
I
with they
love
they
it.
renovated and reopened the Chicago store, which is a big one.
Oh, nice. Do you think it's worth visiting Chicago?
I think it's over by now.
Oh,
It's over.
I really want them to do an exhibition like that in New York. It's been like 10 years since they've done something like that in New York, and the Williamsburg gym thing doesn't count.
No.
Wow, Max, fine. Hate
Not
on Brooklyn,
It's
fine.
true. It's not
you've
like an
always hated.
exhibition. It's not like a Petite H thing, like a leather forever. No,
No, it's a
doesn't
total
count.
PR thing. It doesn't
Yeah.
count.
There
You're
was
right.
a teeny tiny little exhibition, a little display case at Madison on the top floor that had Rouge Osh over the years, which
Oh,
I
that's
thought
kind
was
of cool.
darling.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
it's cool.
Yeah, they've got
Yeah,
beautiful displays on the top floor.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would
I
Great
mean, they
love
must
bags.
have,
if they
Always
started
great bags.
making exhibits like that. Like, let's pick something really nerdy and just show us the history of this thing that we would never even have asked for. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like the Rouge Osh.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they should
No,
have
it
done
was
a big
amazing.
traveling exhibition of Beau Leeds for the 100-year anniversary.
Oh
True.
my gosh, Belize. You know what I've been obsessed with recently is the Margiela for Hermes collections.
Mm.
You know, the runway collections. Have you guys ever looked at those?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
But
Fabulous.
not a lot of bags. I saw
No.
some plains, I saw some Bolides,
Mhm.
and like 2 Kellys. They did
Yeah.
not show a lot of bags.
He didn't design much. There's like one bag that's attributed to him,
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
which is very
What is?
sort of odd looking and
Yeah, I mean, I
lumpy.
didn't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's it called? The La Bag? Or something.
Le
Yeah,
bag.
the
La
la
Tote?
bag.
Yeah, something like that.
It's
Well,
like
The La... No,
La
not the
Bag.
LA Tote. That's different.
Yes. Right.
It's got like a pocket.
No.
This
He
is
was
called
rumored
something
to have,
dumb.
he was rumored to have cut a Kelly in half.
I could see it.
Well, that's what Jean-Paul Gaultier did to create the JPG.
He cut it in half, but there was Hermes was fully expecting Margiela to like of course deconstruct
Yeah.
some bags and kind of put them back together. That was sort of his thing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it ever happened.
Yeah.
No, he never did bags, really. Yeah.
No, never did bags.
So
Just
my forever goblin bag is you brought it up. It's a JPG Birkin.
That is a
No, I
goblin.
love it.
No,
I
love
stop
one.
it. No, can't accept it.
It's
Get
back.
out.
It's hot. I love it.
A blue jean
Yeah.
JPG is a goblin to me.
So goblin. So is Orange H, but blue jean's worse, I think. If you can imagine.
They have been pushing blue jean really hard. Like at the
It's
store.
back. New blue jean.
So
It's back.
I like blue jean. It's just what you do with the blue jean matters.
Yeah. No, it's actually really nice. But you know, I was like talking about different blues. My essay was like, "Have you seen color blue jean?" And I was like, "That's an old color." She's like, "No, it's not. It's new." It's like
I've been doing this a lot longer than you. That's an old color.
Secondhand embarrassment.
Not a new color, and she knew it.
Did you just turn around and leave?
I was just like, not my thing.
Yeah. How do you feel about blue jean and croc versus leather? Because it's kind of a different color vibe.
It's horrible in croc. It doesn't age well either. It's yellow. It's terrible. Oh, horrible.
Listen,
yeah. I mean, I would prefer it leather. I would prefer it I'd almost prefer a JPG in leather than I would croc.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, a croc JPG? Fabulous.
Oh, gross.
Fabulous.
I
Matte
just
croc.
Victoria Beckham. That's all I can think of.
Love it. My dream is the denim and Berenia JPG Birkin.
Stop.
That belongs in a museum.
That's fabulous. I've seen a few of them. I love it.
I think I'll faint.
You just fainted.
Yeah. I can't handle this conversation. Disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There's this collector who has a leopard print pony hair JPG Birkin.
Wow. I mean,
that's amazing. Just for the history.
Yeah.
For the history of it. There needs to be a JPG exhibition. I just want to see all the iterations.
I once saw a Japanese dealer have a vert anise and tangerine ostrich JPG Birkin.
Wow.
Oh my God. I didn't think it could get worse.
Yeah. That's probably the best one I've ever seen.
I wish half these people were on Instagram.
Right.
You know?
True.
I just want to see their collections.
But Max, do you think that qualifies it as a clown bag or no?
I mean, what's the definition of a clown bag? Something where, the two colors or three colors are sort of on the opposite ends of the color spectrum from each other? Orange and green, totally.
Well, I would say it's a bag that has more than one color where the two colors compete for dominance. That's how I will define the clown bag phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not talking about like black and gray or like black and raisin or anything like that. It has to be they have to be competing with each other.
Right. Neither one's black or white.
Right. Yeah. Because those don't compete.
Or brown.
They always match.
Or gray.
So you think Orange H and Vert Anise compete too much?
Yes. Yeah, that's a clown bag.
Bag.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
All right, cool.
But a clown bag is not necessarily a bad bag. We love clowns.
No. On this pod, we are friends of clowns.
Yeah, this is a clown positive pod.
Oh my gosh. Rachel, how do you feel about clown bags? Would you own one?
It's not my, I mean, like if someone gifted me, I would appreciate it for like the artfulness of it.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, it's kind of like a fetishistic object.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely. In the Freudian
But,
sense, sure. Yeah.
yeah, the Freudian sense. But is it my style? Would I wear it? Not really.
I can't see it
I
for
don't
you.
know. I mean, maybe on a crazy night out. Who knows? It could happen. Maybe you could do like a little. We were talking about doing like a Y2K throwback to like Nobu, or no, not Nobu. What we're talking about, Budokan or Tao.
Budokan.
Ow,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally forgot about Budokan. Oh my god.
Yeah, like I could get all dressed up in a pair of Louboutins and a clown bag and go to Budokan and
I
have a
love
drink
that.
Cosmos.
What
Yeah,
a vibe.
that could work.
That's great. I love it. My question is, when you go out carrying a bag, an Hermes bag,
Yes.
to a place where you expect other people to potentially be carrying Hermes bags, people you know or people you don't know, what is your hope for the evening? Like, how do you hope that you carrying your Hermes bag will come across to people you know or do not know who may or may not also be carrying Hermes bags at socially?
Yeah, socially. So here's the deal.
Right.
I have a very complicated relationship with Hermes because on the one hand, I'm obsessed with sort of like we talked about the history and the craftsmanship of the bags. I think that they are the best handbags in the world. They represent something like really, kind of how I want all fashion to be. But then on the other hand, I think there's this like really tacky side of Hermes where it's just like people and conspicuous consumption, and they're just trying to get the loudest and newest and greatest bags, and they just want to sort of show them off and see and be seen. So ideally, I would like to be perceived as somebody who like appreciates Hermes and its legacy, but doesn't need to like shove it in your face, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like, because I've been out and I've seen, I don't know if I can name drop this, but I've seen some people that are very sort of like high profile in their Hermes world with some other people that are very high profile in their Hermes world. And they're carrying just the craziest bags. And I just get this feeling deep in my heart that they just want to sort of, they want their egos to be massaged.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't actually care about the bags.
They don't really care about the bags.
They're stunting. It's pure stunting. That's really what it is.
It's a stunt.
Yeah.
And you don't
I don't like to stunt. That's the thing. I don't like to stunt.
Stunting is low vibration.
But do you still hope to like connect with other Hermes folk when you carry them? Like you hope to signal yourself as a member of the club?
Tribe? Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
I just think that within the tribe, there's a lot of like other sort of niche communities. It's like one big tribe with like mini tribes inside of it.
Definitely. Different war parties.
You wanna speak to the woman who's going to appreciate your box.
Yeah, I do.
More than some Faubourg Birkin.
Not that I don't love and appreciate a Faubourg Birkin, but it's kind of like
time and place.
I hate to bring this up, but like quiet luxury, it's a different
stealth wealth.
Yeah, different. It's a different type of
that Martha moment.
Yeah, it's the Martha moment.
Yeah, you bring up stealth wealth and quiet luxury, and I deign to say this is a yes, but is there an element of old money, new money in this?
Well, I'm neither old money nor new money.
In mindset. I'm thinking in terms of mindset, not like literally
in terms
old
of
new.
mindset.
Yeah, because quiet luxury is kind of a mindset, I think.
Yes.
So old money as a mindset, new money as a mindset.
Yeah, I think the new money is like, look I drive like this crazy car and I have this crazy watch and like I'm wearing head to toe Gucci, like the newest stuff, and I have this crazy bag, and it's just too confectionery. It's too over the top for me. Like,
That's
a perfect word for it. Actually, it is confectionery completely.
Confectionery. It lacks like real sort of like.
Some people have a sweet tooth.
No, some people do. I'm not here to knock anybody because I can appreciate it all, but my sweet tooth is a little bit more reserved. I think.
Yeah, a little bit more dark.
I'm a little more dark chocolate. I'm a little more old world and not new world.
Yes. Definitely Miss Box Kelly.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I definitely see that.
So
Yeah, definitely.
but to each his and her own, you know.
We can still judge.
Totally.
I'm just kidding.
We can secretly judge.
Oh, always judging. Silently
judging with a look of disapproval.
Yes.
But not that I won't like give a woman a nod and a wink when I see her out with a faux Birkin. Like you cannot.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Girl
It's the
code.
least
The
that she
least you can
deserves.
do.
It's Hermes girl code.
Mm-hmm.
It's girl code, and especially if she's like really like well dressed and like, you know,
if she's pulling it together, yeah.
If she's pulling it, if she's making it happen, she's making it work, then
it's not all about the bag. You got to have a full ensemble.
Yeah. It's a full ensemble. It's like an air of confidence.
Don't let the bag wear you.
The bag cannot wear you. You wear the bag.
Exactly.
Show who's boss.
Very important.
You got to show who's boss.
With your outfit. With your look.
Yeah. With your outfit.
Thanks for listening, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
You can find BagTalk clips and more fun stuff on our TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So find us over there, and we'll catch all you handbag girlies next week. Bye.
Bye.